Today I'd like to start you on an exercise in 1-point perspective. And 1-point and 2-point perspective are so important to many things that we draw in terms of still lifes, in terms of environment, that it's important to understand how to achieve accurate perspective. Perspective is important because it puts things in place and it gives us that idea that things recede as they go back into the distance. So today I want to start us on an exercise in 1-point perspective, and we're going to begin by drawing, taking our sketchbook and drawing a single line across it horizontally, and we're going to label that line the horizon line. Horizon line. When we're thinking of 1-point perspective, one of the easiest things to think about is driving down a road, driving down a straight stretch of highway, and as you look into the distance, everything gets smaller as it goes toward that horizon line. The horizon line represents where the sky meets the land. Sometimes we can see into a great distance where the sky meets the land in standing or seated position. The next thing I want you to draw is a dot on the horizon line. It can be toward the center, and you're going to label that vanishing point. You can just label it VP if you want to, vanishing point. Okay? And everything's going to be receding into the distance to that point. The things from up above are going to come into that point. The things from down below are going to go into that point. And if we talk about our road, right, or our railroad track, we can very quickly see how that happens. Things start to get smaller as they go into the distance. But today we're going to be working with boxes. We're going to be working with simple square or rectangular boxes. I'm going to erase those railroad tracks real quickly. And the way I want you to begin these drawings is with the face of the box. Before we go any further, let's just write 1-point perspective at the top of our page. 1-point perspective. Okay, the way we're going to begin is to start with the square face of our box. And I think these always look a little bit nicer if you use a ruler, just to keep those edges nice. Get them squared up. You can clean them up if you need to. Okay, we're going to start with the face of a box. The next step in our perspective drawing is to take the 3 corners that are the closest to our vanishing point and let those corners recede to that vanishing point. So draw your diagonal lines to the vanishing point. Line each corner up. There. Now we have what looks like a really long French fry that's going back to that vanishing point instead of a box. In order to have a box, we have to put in the non-receding lines. So these lines that we've just drawn are called receding lines, or converging, because they are converging on the vanishing point. They're converging at the vanishing point. The next step is to draw the non-receding or non-converging lines. And these lines should remain parallel to our original lines of the face of our box. In other words, our vertical line remains parallel to the vertical line of the box, and the horizontal back edge remains horizontal or parallel to the face of the box. These are called our non-receding or non-converging lines. We think of those as sort of non-changing. This dimension is changing as it comes back. These are not changing, okay? There you have a box in 1-point perspective. I'd like for you to draw 10 boxes on this one side of this page. I want you to note, though, a couple of things. What happens if we draw a box immediately below, and you can draw these boxes above or below the horizon line. What happens if we draw a box immediately below or above that vanishing point? Can you guess? If I take the corners that are closest to my vanishing point, I only have 2 instead of 3 in this case. And so, as a result, I'm only going to show the front and the top of the box. I won't be showing the side face of the box. The same thing would happen if it were up above the horizon line, except that you would see the bottom of the box instead of the top of the box. Okay? So 10 boxes, all on this one side of this page of your sketchbook. And you do not have to draw the receding lines all the way back to the vanishing point. In other words, you can start them and not carry them all the way. So as not to become confusing with all of the overlapping edges. Remember, these lines stay horizontal to the face and to the back. I'm using my 6B pencil, so I'm leaving very dark lines. It would be better, and that shows up well for you all in the demonstration, but it would be better for you to use your B pencil to keep your lines lighter so that when and if you need to erase, you can erase cleanly. This is an exercise in 1-point perspective. 10 boxes, 1 page of your sketchbook. Thank you.